cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I am your host. I'm here with my co-host, Caleb.
Hello.
And, of course, we want to thank all of the Twitch viewers that are live in our Twitch chat right now. That's right. If you didn't know because you're not on our Twitter and not in our Discord, we are live right now on Twitch. Not right now when you're listening, but like right now when we're recording, because you didn't know we were doing this because you're not in our Discord or in our on our Twitter.
Or in our Patreon, cough, cough.
Yeah. You know. So if you're not anywhere in any of those, thank you for the follow, Zami. If you're not in any of those, be sure to check out our Discord server. Is really the number one place that I would say you need to check us out, because Discord server sends out like little notifications whenever we go live or whenever new episodes go up, different things like that.
What have you?
Yeah, so if you're not, also our Discord server is also where we do our remote dual locals every Thursday. So be sure, those are free to enter. They're mostly for learning. So be sure to check that out. But let's go ahead and do our Patreon shout out. So shout out to Cam Yang. Having an underage waifu is still creepy even if she isn't real.
Agreed.
True. Zephyrus, Aaron Johnson, Kane Martin, Austin Johnson, not Aaron, I'm sorry. Kane Martin, Gate Guardian Support, HGH Cyber, Josh Rosen, Marshawn Jones, Zyphorus, Yeet the Feet, AD, Anthony Leela, Blackwing Floodgate Armor Master, Dank Nugs, Earth Machine Best Deck, I Am McLincoln, Mountain Man, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado. Petition for more sound effects, please. Pig, Rudolph, Sprite, Farter, Tier Limit, Sprite, wake up, bro, we gotta leave for Edison. Tier Limit, Best Deck, The Hoover Dam is a Floodgate, Unbanned Number 95, Konami, Understanding and Reading are two different things. Virtually Savior's World, Wade Anderson, Zingas Khan, Aaron Gardner, Asami, Brandon Potter, Caleb is my spirit animal.
I appreciate that.
All of us. Demolition Beaver, the Floodgate Destroyer, Dragon Maidenless Behavior, Jerry Beans Man, Nordic Best Deck, Old Man Red, Pin Code 143, Ray Powell, Shockmaster did nothing wrong, Slaking it up, Stop Crying About Called By, It's Balanced. Disagree. Wait, what? There's no way I can legally say that. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. If you want something read out on Patreon, you can get that for as little as $1 a month. So, and $5 and up gets you access to our Patreon only episodes that we do every Wednesday. Patreon
Every Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, we record them on Tuesdays and post them on Wednesdays. That's why I get it mixed up. But so if you're interested in that, getting an extra episode every week, it's like a half an episode, let's be honest here, but still do that. And if you're interested in supporting the show at no extra cost to yourself, check out our affiliate links down below, TCG Player as well as Dragon Shield. And if you use Dragon Shield, you can get that awesome hand shuffle feel. So be sure to check those out. And of course,
That failed.
That's what you get for just shuffling empty sleeves. They go everywhere.
Hey, it was working fine.
Until it didn't.
Until it didn't.
Oh, God. And be sure to check out Milennium Threads, of course. Milennium Threads is an Etsy store where you can go to find all kinds of awesome Yu-Gi-Oh! Clothing and merchandise. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get on into the podcast now that I've spent entirely too much time on this intro. And what do you say we start with... We have a little bit of quick play news, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You want to start?
Yeah, give me 1 second to pull it up.
Come on, Caleb. We're professionals. We're professionals.
Okay, so, come on, load. Okay, you're going to have to start because it's not loading for me.
Okay, so we're going to start. We got a new structure deck announced here in the OCG, for the OCG. Structure deck Forest of the Treptrix. The pre-constructed Treptrix deck, Structure deck Forest of the Treptrix, goes on sale December 3rd, 2022. It also comes with a deck power-up pack that expands the range of the deck. All 5 different cards included can potentially be secret rares, though only 1 per pack. So, yeah, it's a pre-constructed deck. It looks like it's going to be a structure deck for Treptrix, which is cool. I like that newer archetypes are getting the support and the reward. It's not just older things. I think that there's other decks that I would like to see get structure decks, but Treptrix is a cool choice.
Oh,
It's
yeah, very.
an archetype from what, 2016-ish?
Oh, yeah, it was part of...
2014.
Yeah, it was part of, what was it? Hat format?
Yes, 2014
Yeah,
Nationals.
Hand... Oh, yeah, it was Hand... Something Treptrix. Artifact Treptrix.
Yeah,
And
there you
Artifact
go. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. It's not the most excited I've ever been for a structure deck, but
The only reason why I'm not like more gung-ho for it is because we don't know any of the new cards that they'll be getting.
right.
I'll be more excited once we see what the new cards are. Like, if they get something that maybe protects their back row or lets them like reset or like lets them reset cards in their graveyard, that'd be great. That'd be cool.
Yeah. The only issue is I don't want Treptrix to be playable because it's a dumb control strat, and I hate dumb control strats.
I love dumb control strats.
You never play control. You
Yeah,
always play
that is-
combo.
That is correct.
I hate dumb control strats. I'm not saying that the Treptrix monsters aren't cool and all, and it's a cool concept, but we don't need an entire trap hole archetype.
I think we do, because Trap Hole has always been just kind of an
It's
archetype.
a short jump to a magic cylinder archetype. That's all I'm saying.
We already have one.
We have one support card.
That's technically a rocket card, of all things.
Is it?
Yeah, it is technically a rocket card, because the artwork for it is the revolver chamber from Boot Sector Launch.
Okay.
But instead of loading in rocket monsters, they're loading in magic cylinders. There's even a rocket monster sitting there in one of the chambers like, what is this?
Does it say rocket on the card?
No,
Then it's technically not a rocket card. It's
technically.
almost a rocket card, but it technically isn't.
It's quite hilarious.
The point is you're wrong and I'm right, and that's the most important thing here.
Sure. Let's see. Next up, we have another Rescue Ace monster.
Floodgates or not, it's still a dumb control strat.
Fair. So we have Rescue Ace Intruder, a fire warrior monster, level 4, 1800 attack and defense. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they all have that, remember?
Yeah. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a Rescue Ace trap from your deck to your hand. 2. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, tribute this card from your hand or field, target a Rescue Ace monster in your graveyard, except another copy of its self, and special summon it.
Am I crazy or does that feel broken?
Yeah, because you can activate that from your hand. You can treat it's Lancia. It's literally the same activation requirements on the second effect as Lancia.
No, it's not.
Doesn't Lancia tribute from hand or field?
Yeah, but it doesn't require your opponent to activate a monster effect.
Fair enough, but this thing can tribute itself.
It's the same cost.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you get to revive a Rescue Ace, which I don't remember what the other Rescue Aces do off the top of my head. So it's either incredibly broken or not, or it might just be mid.
Yeah, I don't remember what they do either, if I'm being completely honest.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so I still think though that we should buy. I think if I remember though, the Rescue Aces were like solid but not crazy.
Yeah, but this is also solid, but not like. It's not like Tier Lament with the Ishizu cards.
Right.
It's more like sprites when they're not running Toad.
Or weaker.
Weaker than that.
It's like Sword Soul without the Tenyi cards.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's definitely going to need a good secondary engine to really.
which I think that engine is Gizmex, because
Oh.
it makes the entire deck searchable.
Oh, absolutely, because like they're all machines with the exact. Well, not all machines, but they're all like.
I think they are all machines. All the Rescue Aces are machines.
Not all of them. I think the level 4s are all warriors, because this one's a warrior.
I don't think all the Gizmex are machines.
I'm pretty sure they are. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that all these monsters, Gizmex and the Rescue Aces, all have the exact same attack and defense, which is what they're searching for.
Mm-hmm.
The Gizmex, I mean.
Right. So.
Yeah. So the Gizmex can get you into your Rescue Ace cards, but your Rescue Aces cannot get you into your Gizmex.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do the Purury card?
Sure, I can do that.
No, because I accidentally exited out of the wrong thing. Okay.
Okay. So next up we have Expiration Noir. So I think it was literally the last episode we talked about the Purury archetype, which kind of looked like Eevee. This would be the Umbreon of the archetype.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's a Dark Fairy Xyz, rank 7 with 1100 attack, 2000 defense. Materials to hard make this thing, 2 level 7 monsters. You can also summon this card by using 1 rank 2 monster you control with 5 or more materials. Transfer materials to this card, blah blah blah. 1. This card with 5 or more materials is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, but not continuous effects. That's good to note. 2. You can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 card your opponent controls or in the graveyard. Place it on the bottom of the deck. This is a quick effect to your opponent if this card has a level 1 Purury monster as material.
No, not if your opponent. If this card.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought you said if your opponent has.
I don't know. I guess because I said target 1 card your opponent controls.
I have no idea.
Anyway, but yes. So if it has the level 1 Purury monster's material, it's a quick effect. Which is pretty good. Attach to, send something to the bottom.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like amazing.
Yeah, but I mean it's targeted non-destruction, so
yeah.
Take that for what you will.
All right, let's talk about some Photon Galaxy stuff. These cards are good. So,
especially the new cosplay Karibo.
Yeah. All right, so this is from the new set that will be coming out after Darkling Blast, if I'm not mistaken, called Photon Hypernova, which is such a cool set name, by the way.
Also, the card art for the monster on this looks sweet.
Yes.
But I'm also a sucker for the Galaxy Eyes Photon line.
Right. So, first card is Photon Emperor. Level 8 Light Warrior effect monster, 2800 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard except from the field, and you have another Photon or Galaxy monster on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position. 2. After you normal or special summon this card, you can normal summon 1 light monster during your main phase this turn, in addition to your normal summon set, and you can only gain this effect once per turn.
Ooh.
So, the interesting thing about this card to me is that if it's detached as Xyz material, it gets its effect.
Yes, to revive itself, yes?
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. It would feel like it was worded that way very specifically to make that happen.
Now, to be fair, if you don't get that effect, though, if you had to revive it in order to put it on field for the Xyz material.
Say that again?
If you had to revive it to get it on the field to begin with to use as Xyz material, like, I don't know, normal summon one of the Photon, because one of the Photons like, level modulates to 8, and then like Foolish Burial this guy, and then activate effect to special summon him, boom.
Gotcha.
Because it's once per turn.
Right.
Yeah. But later, like during your opponent's turn...
Alright, your turn.
Alright, next up we have Galaxy Summoner, level 4 light spellcaster. 1600 attack, 1400 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, except another copy of itself, special summon in defense position. 2. You can target one other light monster you control that has a level. Its level becomes 4 until the end of this turn.
It's alright.
Would you look at that? That's really good.
That's nifty.
Yeah, that's just like a on summon get a free rank 4. Let's go.
Next we have Gala Karibo. Level 1 Light Fiend effect monster, 300 attack, 200 defense, and this card is always treated as a Galaxy card. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard this card. Special summon 1 Photon Dragon from your hand or deck, then change the attack target to it. Then you can attach this card from your graveyard to an Xyz monster on the field as material. 2. If a Photon and or Galaxy monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Neither of those effects are once per turn.
That's really solid, actually.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
Like, that's surprisingly...
Yeah.
Next up, we have, a new number monster. Chaos number 62, Neo Galaxy Ice Prime Photon Dragon. That's a mouthful. Level 8.
and a half.
It's a rank 8 Light Dragon Xyz. 4k attack, 3k defense. 3 level 8 monsters. This is materials. You can also exceed summon this card by using number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon you control. Transfers materials. So you can just make the number 62 and just slap this dude right on top.
Right.
At the start of your battle phase, you can attach one material from this card, and then it can attack 3 times. It can make 3 attacks on monsters during this battle phase. Pretty good. 2, if this card has Galaxy Eyes Photon as material, it gains these effects. Unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, and it gains attack equal to the combined levels and ranks of all monsters attached to its material times 100.
So if you have 2 level 8s and
The rank 8.
the rank 8, then he becomes 6,400.
Bro!
Big old boy.
That's... Well, no, because you... Because that'd be 8, and then 8, so that'd be 16... Yeah, 24. Okay, yeah. I don't know why. I thought he was 5,000.
No.
My brain when he was 5,000, so it should be bigger. I was like, no, that's not it.
He's okay.
Yeah, it's 4K.
I know you know math.
Next up. No, I'm terrible at math. But no, my brain when he's 5,000 for some reason.
Yeah. Next up, we have Galaxy Photon Dragon. So this is a rank 4 Light Dragon Xyz effect monster, 2,000 attack, 0 defense. Materials is 2 level 4 monsters. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn each. 1, all other light monsters you control gain 500 attack. 2, you can detach 1 material from this card, take 1 Photon or Galaxy card from your deck, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. 3, if a light monster is summoned to your field, you can target one of them that has a level. Its level becomes 4 or 8 until the end of this turn.
That's really solid, actually.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Galaxy 100, continuous spell. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1, when this card resolves, you can send a Photon or Galaxy card from deck to graveyard. Interesting. 2, if Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is special summoned to your field, you can look at your opponent's extra deck, then apply one of these effects. Banish a monster from it, or special summon a number monster from it to your field.
Wow.
That's a good way to punish your opponent for daring to run a number monster.
Or, daring to run a monster.
Well, yeah, just by nature of them having an extra deck, you can banish a major part of their cards out of it. But then if it's one of their cards is a number, you also have the ability to just steal it and use it for your own selfish needs.
Right. Alright, next we have Numeron Creation. Normal spell card. This card is always treated as a Galaxy Eyes card. You can only apply the effect of this card's name once per turn. 1, if there are 3 or more light dragon monsters on the field with 3,000 or more original attack, special summon 1 dragon number Xyz monster from your extra deck, then attach this card on the field to it as material.
Interesting.
Alright, and you want to hit the last one?
Yep, Photon Deceleration, normal trap card. 1, take a Photon or Galaxy continuous spell or trap from your deck. Either add it to your hand or place it face up on your field. I don't know why you'd ever add it to your hand. 2, if this set card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect during their turn and you control Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or an Xyz monster that has that card as material, you can make it become the end phase. Interesting. So yeah, these are actually really solid cards here.
Some of them are good, yeah. Some of them are pretty meh, but that's what you get on new card releases most of the time.
They read like they're really good, but we'll have to wait to actually see them in practice.
Right, exactly.
Particularly the what was it? Galaxy Karibo?
Galakaribo.
Yeah, especially Galakaribo. That's going to be interesting, but I don't think it's going to be used like at all entirely due to the fact that your monster has to be attacked for you to get its pitch effect at all.
Right.
Unfortunately.
All right. Let's take just a moment to thank our sponsor, ETB Games. So a huge thank you to ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana for sponsoring the podcast. ETB Games is your one-stop shop for all of your card game needs. They have everything for Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Digimon, etc., single, sealed product, deck boxes, binders, play mats, everything that you need for the games that you love. If you are interested in ETB games, you can find a link to them in the description down below. Now let's get on into the main core of today's episode, which is let's talk about the top decks and let's talk about kind of where the best places are to both interrupt those decks and to hand trap them, stop them, the best way to interact with them, things like that. So, is there anywhere in particular that you want to start?
Well, I was going to start. We should probably start with what is currently probably arguably the best deck in the room. Arguably.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, right now is Sprite, but put an asterisk for now, and it's like just so.
Right.
And it's only being eked out, it's only eking itself out over tier limit because of its consistency and being able to do what it wants to do.
Right.
Compared to tier limit, which right now relies a lot on just luck and pluck to be able to mill what they need to make the boards they want to make.
To a certain extent, yes, but there is also a certain amount of taking luck out of the equation when you run the optimal numbers of each of the main deck monsters.
Yeah, but even then, it's still you're just milling off the top, so you got to kind of get lucky and not mill like 3 of the same monster.
Right.
And like that's the only tier limit you milled.
Right.
So, in my opinion, right now the number one hand trap for specifically Sprite is actually kind of a 3-way tie between Effect Veiler, Imperm, and Gamma, Cyframe Gear Gamma.
So you said Gamma, Veiler, and Imperm?
Yeah. Because because they all kind of do the same thing. To different effects.
Right.
This is assuming the Sprite player is going first, of course.
Right.
And and then of course, my opinion, if you only have one of those, your best place to hit there is actually the gigantic Sprite whenever they make it.
I would say the gigantic Sprite is almost always the main point of interaction against Sprite. You can also do things like hold certain cards like DD Crows or Imperms until the beginning of your turn and start hitting things on their end board. But I think if you're doing that, then you may as well just be playing Dark Ruler, depending on what your hand is or depending on what your situation looks like.
Dark Ruler, Alpha, Pankratops.
Right.
Generic board breakers.
So let's take just a moment to kind of talk about why it is that's a good place to interrupt. So Gigantic Sprite lets you search, right? Is it search or special summon one from the deck?
I'm pretty sure special summon one from the deck.
Okay, so and it doesn't detach for cost,
Correct.
but rather detaches in the resolution.
It detaches as part of the effect because it can detach not from itself, it can detach from any of your exceeds on field.
Okay.
So the whole point is that you don't have to ever actually detach from the gigantic Sprite, but in doing so, they could make it part of the cost.
Yeah. So a typical Sprite end board to me is usually something along the lines of Elf, Masquerena, and Toad.
Yeah, the elf pointing at both Masquerena and Toad, protecting them.
Right, and then they'll use one Toad negate, bring it back with Elf, have another Toad negate, and then have a possible Link 3 or Link 4 play.
To go into like Appaloosa or something.
Right, or even something like a Unicorn or something like that.
Yeah, for more interaction.
Right. So, with all that said, what I like to do is, if I have something like even Ghost Ogre is really critical against the Sprite matchup.
Yes, because if he doesn't detach, he doesn't get the effect off.
Correct, which means that if you Ghost Ogre the gigantic Sprite or do something to remove it from the field, then he will not get his effect at all.
Even if I think even if you book a Moon and it still doesn't get its effect off.
Oh, I have no idea on Book of Moon.
I think I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong on that, but I think
it makes sense when you say it.
because it has to detach from an Exceeds. It's the only Exceed on field, but then it's flipped face down, so it's no longer a valid target because it's not an Exceed monster, is my thought process.
Right.
I would ask a judge if I'm actively running Book of Moon just for that card.
Right.
Just to make sure beforehand. But no, just any way to either negate the gigantic sprite or remove it from the field.
Right.
Either way will prevent them from going into, possibly just straight even going into their Toad lines.
Right, probably would.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, if the gigantic sprite resolves, that's when you start having issues. Because you can no longer Nibiru, nor can you Gamma them anymore.
Correct.
Because you cannot special summon monsters. They're not Link, Rank, or Level 2.
Right, and while Gamma is level 2, Driver is not.
Correct. And you gotta summon Driver to summon Gamma.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
So I would say that your biggest point of interaction is against the gigantic sprite.
Now, other secondary forms of interaction is, like, let's say you don't feel comfortable saving the DD Crow and you just want to stop the Toad. Whenever they Swap Frog mill the Ronin Toad,
You can Crow Ronin.
just Crow Ronin. They only run one Ronin Toad normally.
You can also wait for them to activate Ronin's effect.
Yeah, that's the best places. They activate Ronin Toad's effect. They pay cost of banishing a frog. Chain DD Crow banishing Ronin Toad.
Right, exactly.
Because then they lose both the frog and the Ronin Toad. So even if they're running a second Ronin Toad, they still won't be able to successfully make Toad because they can't get enough extra frogs in the grave.
So I would say that the argument with Sprite is, do you run a bunch of hand traps to prevent them from making the board, or a lot of times Sprite can play through those hand traps, so do you run something like Dark Ruler No More? And to that, I think it kind of depends on the deck. I think there's a really great and strong argument to be made for Dark Ruler No More, in that it lets you clear up their board and put you in a very advantageous long-term winning position.
Yeah, but you also trade off, they know for a fact they're going to survive the turn.
Correct.
And for some some of the better Sprite players, that's all they need just to reset up that same board again.
Right. It's a pretty terrifying thought.
Or even just go in for game.
Right. So it kind of depends on where you're at, but personally, I have cut Dark Ruler in favor of more hand traps.
Yes.
To me, I would rather let them, I'd rather stop them from making the board in the first place than to run Dark Ruler, let them do their whole combo, and then potentially have a way to interact with Dark Ruler, which I doubt, but still, it's possible.
I personally just straight up prefer to have the Dark Ruler more. That's just me personally. But I'm even running Alpha.
Right.
Siding Alpha Master the Beast for the exact same thing of me just kind of going, that's a nice Toad there. Special Alpha, run it over.
Right.
And then just, cool, main phase 2, effect to bounce the elf.
Right.
Yeah. Or even wait for them to activate IP Masquerena and then use its effect to bounce.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, do you want to talk about Tier Limit?
Let's do it.
So, Tier Limit is the other number one major popular deck in the format. And there's actually quite a few ways to stop this deck. If you let it get going and let it get on a roll, it can really become an issue, because the longer that match goes on, the more it favors Tier Limit. Because while yes, sometimes they whiff on their mills or whatever, they're shuffling all of those monsters back into the deck
so they can
and drawing out the bad cards.
Or they'll end up either milling out the cards milling out or drawing the cards they do not care about, like hand traps,
exactly,
and floodgates, and what have you.
And that ability to replenish actually turns the odds way in their favor.
Again, the longer the game goes, the more issues you're going to have.
Right. So there's a couple of cards that you can play that help with this, though, which, for starters, let's just talk about DD Crow.
Oh, yeah.
DD Crow is such a good card right now, especially, I have him in my main deck. So, to me, DD Crow is the ideal way to stop it. There are a few other cards, though. You could play Foolish Return, which is fine. Yeah, it's funny. It's fine. I have teched in Silent Graveyard to completely shut off all of those effects.
Yeah, because it's a floodgate for the turn. I wish I could fit Abyss Dweller in my deck, because then you could just Dweller them and if they don't have the immediate response for the Dweller, they lose.
Exactly.
And especially in right now I'm playing Marincess, especially if I try to go board and they use up a bunch of hand traps to try and stop me, and I'm still left with 2 level 4s on board to go, cool, make Dweller pass.
Right.
Too bad you used up your Imperm, dude.
Yeah.
And then
Dweller's a very good card.
and then standby, shotgun the Dweller. You're done.
Right.
It's a big Dweller, because all my stuff's water.
So, I would say that those are really the ways that you stop Tyr, but Tyr is kind of a non-linear deck that kind of moves all over the place and has all these different branching lines, but it also, if you know where to hit it, you can stop it, just like pretty much anything else.
Oh yeah.
So
the trick is that if you see them, like, I don't remember exactly how you can do it, but you can actually DD Crow a lot of their monsters that get milled before their effects have a chance to go off, so they don't get them at all. Kind of like if,
I would let their effects go off, that way they can't can't activate them again because they're hard ones per turns.
Yeah. But the issue with letting them go off though is that then it comes to, oh cool, I milled the next thing I needed. Oh cool, I just milled the next thing I needed. And then it's like, well, it's too late for me to DD Crow anywhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But they're all a lot like Benton, where like let's say your opponent goes Alpha Attribute Benton in hand, and you chain Crow and get rid of the Benton, it doesn't get its search. Same deal here with them.
Right. So the next deck that we can talk about is kind of the Punk Adventure deck.
Punk Pile, as people have been calling it.
Right. So there's Zombie Punk, things like that. But I think Punk Pile is kind of the best way to describe it.
Because there's just so many different variations on the deck.
Right, exactly. So I think that your number one place to interrupt is probably Hauki Fibrax.
Yeah, Valor, Imperm, or Gamma there, it just ends them.
Potentially.
Yeah. Now...
Also, if you Ash the Foxy Tune, that is really bad for them.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not Foxy Tune, the Xiamen.
Yeah. Like, I was... I remember we back at the region we were just at, I was playing up against a Punk Pile deck. They activated Xiamen, and I ashed. They went, Call by the Grave. I was like, cool. Summoned... No, that's not what happened. They activated Xiamen, I gammaed, they ashed Gamma, summoned Foxy Tune, attempted Foxy Tune effect, especially summon another one, I went Gamma again.
I remember you telling me about this when it happened.
Yeah.
And they said, hold on, let me read Gamma.
Well, what do you know? It's not once per turn.
Right.
Yeah, but like at that point, he just scooped because I read that... I was able to just kind of read based off his... expression that he needed this to resolve to play.
Right.
So in that situation, just straight up stopping him just dropping my hand trap, stop him was the correct play there.
For sure.
With the Punk Pile decks, that's not always the correct thing to do there. That I was just on a roll and I had the correct read there.
Right.
If you have multiple hand traps, go for it.
Yeah. All right, you want to do some mailbag questions and then we'll get out of here?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so let's start with, are you team Boardbreaker or team 15 Handtrap?
I'm actually on a little bit of both.
I'm straight up Handtraps. I don't really
Yeah.
love Boardbreakers. Droplet is fine because it's incredibly versatile, but as a whole, I really don't love Boardbreaker cards. I don't really love Dark Ruler, Evenly, things like that, because they take away your ability to win the game in favor of a huge tempo swing, which I get. A huge tempo swing can win you a game a lot,
But not always.
Right. Also, I can never seem to get those board breakers, so then I just end up playing into a full board with no interaction.
That's fair. Like, but the thing is, I'm on 15 hand traps, but then I also have like 5 board breakers sided.
Right.
Because my deck can do that.
Of course. So, if you could design a specific card for an archetype that's on theme, so no random link ones unless it makes sense, what archetype would you give the card to, and what would the card do? I'm giving Geargia a new card.
What card would that be?
I don't know. Something that you can normal summon that special summons like 4 of them from the deck, because that's the only way that deck will be good.
Yeah, well, like even something that lets you abuse their fake flip effects.
Right.
Yeah, maybe like a Link one that every single time a gadget is summoned, you can flip them all.
Well, it's not. It's only armor.
I mean, isn't like normal isn't like set and armor, special accelerator, Link 1. Oh look, one got summoned, flip effect, summon a new one, flip.
Well, armor. Well, okay. So Gear Gigant takes 2 level 4s. And it's more along the lines of flip armor, search accelerator, special accelerator, make Gigant kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like my first thought was like do like something that can just constantly flip the armor over and over again so you can get its effect again and again and again because it's not once per turn.
That is true. So,
which is wild.
Do you have a mantra or a life philosophy that you follow?
Do no harm, but take no crap.
I just try to be nice to pretty much everybody I can be nice to. Why are Yu-Gi-Oh players so bad at math and reading? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Favorite anime opening? It's got to be the original Pokemon theme song, right?
Not for me, actually.
I want to be the very best.
For me?
Like no one ever was.
Come on, man. DMCA. Gotta be careful with that.
This is my own personal rendition.
They
can
still get you on it. They can still get you on it. They've got people on it.
Train them is
anyway,
my cause.
For me, it's actually the opening title for season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Dude, I love the closing theme from Jujutsu Kaisen. And hold on,
both are fantastic.
Hold on, I have the closing theme downloaded onto my phone because it's so good.
Yeah, no, don't.
I'm not gonna play it. I just want everybody to know what it is. It's called.
Both are amazing.
Lost in Paradise by Miura Jam.
Yes.
So good.
I also really enjoyed the song Faction, which is the opening theme for Digimon Ghost Game.
Yeah. Okay. You haven't seen Attack on Titan, have you?
I have.
Okay. Season 4, Part 1.
I have.
Rumbling.
That's also really good.
Oh, dude, that one's amazing. And the original Attack on Titan is also good. The da 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 da. I'm gonna make sure that is stuck in everyone's head for the rest of the day. Sorry. All right,
and of course, One Punch Man.
Yeah. If you could pick a Pokemon starter, what do you choose?
What generation?
Oh. You want my truthful and honest answer? Probably Turtwig. And that's saying something because Sceptile is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I'm a huge Trico fan, but I'd probably go Turtwig.
I'm kind of leaning right now, actually, toward Fuecoco.
Oh, it's not even out yet. We don't even know what the evolution looks like.
I love his doofy face. There are no thoughts behind. Okay, if it's just ones that are out, my gut is Bulbasaur.
I might also choose Eevee.
Eevee is a starter.
Yeah, that's right, and you can't tell me otherwise.
According to Let's Go Eevee, it is a starter.
Yes. Did you give an answer?
I did. I said Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur is a fine answer. You know why I want Turtwig?
Why is that?
Because one day I saw this fan art of somebody with their OC on the back of a Torterra leaned up against a tree reading a book.
Yeah. Which you can do the same thing on Venusaur.
Yeah, but Torterra has a built-in tree.
Which is, it also has a rock.
It's just, I feel like there's like terrain and there's just something to,
So in the most recent Pokemon anime, fun story about Turtwig.
Okay, I'm here for it.
They did an episode where it was a Turtwig and a Choodle, which is a turtle Pokemon from
I'm glad you said that because I have no idea what a Choodle is. It sounds like you made something up.
No. And basically they decide to have a foot race to see who's faster.
Okay.
So in the middle of this foot race, they get joined by like a Tortuga who's a Generation 5 turtle, a bunch of other turtle Pokemon just kind of join in on the foot race.
Of course.
And a Squirtle walks up and is like, "Hey guys, what's going on? It's a foot race." Really? Okay, whatever.
But none of us have feet.
Okay, no, because like the only one who doesn't have feet is Tortuga, but it just kind of just swims through the water real fast.
Okay.
So it's losing horribly, gets in the water, completely outspeeds everyone, gets cocky, turns around, starts laughing at him, just careens into the side of the water.
Oh.
I think the Choodle, I think it ended up being a tie between the actual Turtwig and Choodle, and then they went home.
Dude, Turtwig is awesome. Mainly because Torterra is awesome.
All the turtle Pokemon in the episode were owned by the same dude who's walking around with 6 Blastoises.
Turtles are cool.
The Blastoises would walk around on each other's shoulders.
That's weird, but turtles are cool.
So it was like 3 Blastoises on bottom, 2 on top, and then...
So they were like cheerleaders?
Yeah, with the dude just sitting on top, just, "I am the Turtle Master."
Turtles are cool, I say again.
He also had a big... I think it was just straight up Master Roshi.
That's definitely possible. All right, so today will be the shortest episode we've ever done for the Mainline podcast. But I'm going to be honest, we didn't have a ton to talk about. And also, again, being honest, I'm really tired.
It is almost midnight, and I got to go home and edit this, which is going to take several hours.
Yeah.
And I got to get up early.
And we were streaming for like 2 hours before we started this.
Yeah.
Because, we stream now. So if you're interested in that, check us out. So,
we awesome.
Caleb, you should put a link to my Twitch in the description.
Remember to send me a link for me to put into the description.
Gotcha. Okay, so thank you everybody for listening to today's super short episode of the podcast. I know that this isn't the most exciting thing in the world, and it's not the best and longest episode we've ever done, but hopefully we'll get more cool stuff coming in the future. There's a couple of guests that I'm hoping come on soon. So be sure to check us out in the future. If you like the content, if you like the shorter episodes, let us know. We can maybe do some more shorter episodes. But if you're on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already. And if you like the content that you saw here or heard here, if you're on Spotify or Apple iTunes, be sure to go ahead and just leave a review, leave a like, anything like that. They help us out tremendously. And of course, if you're not already, join our Discord server and follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. So thank you everybody for tuning in today, and we will catch you on Friday.
Take care, everybody.